group of us about 10 years ago gathered together to see what we could do to get this old abandoned railroad line, which was called the Sioux Line, converted into a recreational trail. Now, we had been using this trail, even when it was an active railroad line, for some time. We thought it was just a lovely, natural place for a lineal recreational trail. Slowly but surely, we gathered the support, and eventually we got the legislature to designate this as one of its state trails. We got the legislature to make the appropriation, and when I say we, it was not just the Sioux Line Trail Association, but also the Minnesota Parks and Trails Council, which played an indispensable role in mustering support in the legislature for this effort. Eventually, we got the state to acquire the railroad right-of-way. We got the courts to agree that this was a legal acquisition, and then the final step was to get it developed.
As an author of the legislation and longtime advocate for trails, I'm excited to be here and watch the amount of use the Gateway Trail is getting. All ages and all generations are out enjoying walking, biking, rollerblading, wonderful opportunities to enjoy the out of doors.
I think one thing that's very important about the Gateway Trail has been the local support. This trail originated because of local citizens getting involved, prompting their legislators, and really pushing for this trail to exist. And it was in part due to their efforts that this is a reality today.
We live along the trail just down the way a couple of miles. I try to get out every day while I'm in town. I've noticed a lot of people that had questions about the trail to start out with that I meet on the trail every day now, and a lot of new faces. We made a lot of new friends down here at Pine Point. It's been a new way of life for most of these people. When the trail wasn't available, they didn't get a chance to get out. And now we're out every day and using it. It's the best thing that ever happened to us.
We found that most of the people who use the trail live within a very short distance of the trail. So it's a community amenity, it's a neighborhood amenity. Some people come from all over the metro area to use the trail, but the vast majority of users are right in their own backyard, and so it's a great place to meet friends and neighbors.
When my wife and I were looking for a house, a nice place to raise our family, proximity to the Gateway Trail was certainly one of the reasons, or one of the things we were looking for. There were lots of things we were looking for, but we wanted access to quality recreation facilities. I've been a bicycle advocate for many years and was a big supporter of the purchase and development of the Gateway Trail. And I always said that if they ever built the thing, I would buy a house along it and ride to work. Little did I know that the Gateway Trail would be so well maintained and such an asset that I'd be able to use it almost every month of the year.
And as a person that's lived here and enjoyed the trail myself, I'm glad that I know how to ski and bike and take my dog for a walk and use the trail in so many different ways. Early in the morning we've ridden to breakfast over in North St. Paul, and later on in the evening we've ridden up to Stillwater for a bite to eat there, and it's just farther up we've gone, and just it's so pretty in every different season that I am truly thrilled that we have this opportunity to share in a way that's not harmful to anybody, to have the rest of the community enjoy it as we've enjoyed it ourselves.
Well, and you know, the interesting thing is that we see a lot of people using it and getting a lot of joy, and that frankly fills our hearts too. We think that's kind of neat. But there are a lot of times when Linda and I can walk this trail and really have it to ourselves. And I think that's one of the huge attractions to those people who live next to the trail. not only is it shared with many, but there's so many wonderful private times when you can kind of walk along the trail, bicycle it, take your dog for a walk, enjoy nature, and really feel that it's yours. So it's kind of a double blessing. It's something you share and something that you kind of personally enjoy. One of the things that we love about the trail is being able to bump into friends and neighbors on the trail, and of course even the people that we don't know. Many of them we know are residents here in our community, and we've in fact met and made some very good friends by just bumping into people and meeting people on the trail as well.
Just some ways that our family uses the trail. My wife bicycles, but I think she even likes to rollerblade even more. And as older adults, we find it really a wonderful trail for rollerblading. When I have birthday parties or family events, we don't sit in the yard. We usually start the day packing up the kids, the grandkids, our children, myself, Diane, getting out on the trail for a couple hours. So it's multi-use, it's a wonderful family event.
As our population ages and people live longer and healthier lives, there'll be much more demand for folks to come out and use trails such as the Gateway Trail. And we're really hoping we can build partnerships between the state legislature and local communities, the Legislative Commission on Minnesota Resources, and property owners who will make these opportunities available for future generations. It's so special to see families with little kids on bicycles and tricycles, and then follow behind with senior citizens just out for a leisurely stroll, people on rollerblades, excusing themselves as they pass. I think Minnesotans are really blessed to have this opportunity, and I hope we can provide additional opportunities in the future. It's something I really hope that we can work on together and get the job done.
The Gateway Trail Association right now is working on extending the trail, which right now runs from St. Paul to Stillwater Township to Pine Point Park. We would like to see the trail extended to the north all the way up to William O'Brien State Park, eventually to Taylor's Falls. And so we're working right now with property owners in the May Township and Marine on St. Croix areas to try to locate rights of way where the trail can go. And hopefully someday we'll see it go all the way, maybe all the way in fact to Duluth to link up with the Munger Trail.
Volunteers were asked to get on the Gateway Extension Committee about 3 to 4 years ago, and I thought, now there's a good idea. I like the idea of the Gateway, and I could think of nothing better than seeing it extended to O'Brien Park and hence on up to Taylor's Falls. So I've been an active part of that committee and have enjoyed it very much. Talking with farmers, landowners, town board members, working with Suzanne Wilhite from the DNR, with others on our Gateway Extension Committee has been exciting and a pleasure, and I really think things are coming together and we're going to see a trail extended within a couple of years.
We're real excited about the possibility of extending the Gateway Trail. The local citizens again have come together and they're really pushing to get this trail extended further north to Taylor's Falls. And we're very supportive of doing that. Right now the local citizens are the ones that are leading that effort.
It's just been a delight to be able to work in the legislature, work with all kinds of groups and individuals, whether they ride horses or ride bikes, the parks and trails. It has been really, I think, a grand coalition that has come together to create this facility and continue to make sure that it's maintained so that as many Minnesotans as possible can use it. I think it would be a great asset if this trail could be extended up to Taylor's Falls.
I'm 68 years old, and every time I go out, I like to do a little better, go a little further, go a little faster, see some new country. It would be nice if we could just continue on this trail and join up with other trails along the way up north. I'd like to go to Duluth.
I'm really excited that the Gateway Trail has the possibility of being extended on into Marine and from Marine to Taylor's Falls someday. I think that'd be a real asset.
What's really exciting is that there are some real important plans afoot to finish extending the trail down to the state capitol, and more importantly, extend that trail all the way up to Taylor's Falls. It will work its way north from Pine Point to the Wilder Nature Center and Wilder Forest, a lovely area, and then it'll continue north past Marine and on to O'Brien State Park. Can you imagine that? What a tremendous opportunity to explore more of our beautiful countryside here in Washington County.
There are several reasons why we're committed to the Gateway Trail. For one, it connects the city to our center, which is a center for community building and youth development on behalf of the Amherst Wilder Foundation. It allows young people, families to transport themselves from the city to the country with bicycles and through walking, which is so much more ecologically sound than simply using cars and other forms of transportation. But it also provides a connection between Wilder Forest and the city that we think is unique in young people who come to our center to see how much the city is dependent and integrally related to the natural environment.
You know, just something on my mind that I notice as I travel the Gateway, there are more and more connectional pieces. Going through Gladstone, which is Maplewood, I noticed several new connections to the Gateway Trail, and I think it's just something that makes a statement. It says something about the communities that the Gateway Trail goes through and how they are welcome to connect, welcome to function and use the trail. And all along that has been happening, and we anticipate it happening in the future.
And also the trails that have been coming in from Lake Phelan, North St. Paul, the Lake Links Trail, and all of these that are, again, helping neighbors to be able to do circular routes and enjoy the trails that are in their neighborhood and connect into the little part of the Gateway that they might want to do just for an evening out with family and friends.
And from my perspective, one of the great things about working with the Gateway Trail is such an active local support organization. The Gateway Trail Association and the local adjacent landowners are very supportive of this trail, and that's what makes this such a success, both with the local residents and with the trail users. We've had very little problems, complaints with this trail because we have such active supporters. They're on the trail, they tell us when there's problems or concerns.
I'm on this trail every day and I love it. The Gateway Trail has an Adopt a Trail association. I have over 60 volunteers that have signed up to help us maintain this trail, to keep it looking nice. These people not only pick up trash as they need it, but they're also on the lookout for things that need fixing up.
And so people have asked us, well, you lived along the trail. What is it like? Well, first of all, we've never had any problem with vandalism. Secondly, it has been so much fun for us to just use ourselves and to have our friends use it and to meet our neighbors. It's a way of connecting with the community.
Hi. All right.
Seemed like a good day to go biking and turned out to be a perfect day for us. We've just started biking about 2 years ago, and so we're just doing it just for exercise right now. Well, we once in a while we stop and visit with people. Interesting to see all ages, from toddlers on up almost to people my age. And they all seem to have a good time and make use of it in a way that certainly is a healthy exercise and in a good environment.
With there being less and less areas for one to drive a horse on, the Gateway Trail is wonderful. It's wide enough for carriages, so we come out here and drive. We use the Gateway Trail also for bicycling and cross-country skiing. We do all three.
I mostly ride horseback on the trail, probably ride here 2 or 3 times a week. Ride on the Pine Point trails as well as along the Gateway. Oftentimes maybe travel 4 or 5 miles down the trail and back. And I enjoy riding here, you know, as compared to riding along roads where there's traffic and so forth. And the surface to ride on is real nice too. You don't have any gopher holes or badger holes or anything like that to worry about the horse stepping in.
I've been actively involved with the Gateway Trail Association since it started back in 1980, getting together as a group of neighbors. I had young children, and my husband and I were wondering how we could have a nice, safe place for them to go biking and walking and hiking and all the things that we enjoy doing in our own family.
My wife and I live about half a mile from the trail, which is just a great amenity, a very important part of our life. And we walk almost every day. We bike, we ski, and you know, it's just a tremendous trail. Keeps us outdoors, keeps us healthy, gives us something to do together that we both enjoy, and so it's a great thing.
The change of scenery from the city surroundings and out into this part of the trail makes it even more interesting. We're able to see ducks and swans and so on. Very enjoyable.
I really think it's a nice trail, and it's surprising how much you feel like you're in the wilderness and out in the open, even when you're in the city.
I see lots of interesting things, quite a few different kinds of animals. Even on my commute from Matamita to St. Paul, I occasionally see deer and other small mammals, lots of birds, and the scenery is quite surprising along the trail. Its proximity to golf courses and parks and other types of open space really make it seem like it's not quite part of the city.
It's kind of a pretty place. There's wildlife, there's deer and turkeys, and see pheasants once in a while. So, you know, I really enjoy getting out and riding on it as often as I can.
So it's really been a fun thing, seeing the trails, having a place that's quiet, away from the road for the most part, being able to have people out, being able to enjoy nature. North St. Paul, in fact, has done a big wetland project in North St. Paul that's adjacent to the trail. They're doing it in conjunction with the wetland district, various other governmental bodies, and also with the high school there. So it's been fun to see communities then making the trail their own as they've done things with it in that area.
I think the Gateway is a really neat resource because so many different types of users are able to use it. It's really a very special opportunity that I'm really happy the Department of Natural Resources was able to protect.
It's been fun over these 20 years staying a part of this wonderful active group that wants to help to be good stewards of the trail, the linear trail that we've been involved with. It's been fun to see ownership taken by the cities in order to have projects going along the trail that enhances their community as well as enhancing what the Gateway Trail is. And it's been neat seeing the people in the various communities that we're going to hear about it, learn about it, and decide that yes, it is something that they would like to have as a connector for their neighborhoods.
So that's the long-term vision, and there's been a lot of effort to make this happen, and we have a lot of people to thank for it. Right now, though, we just got to keep plugging away, and we're real optimistic, though, that it will happen.
It's fun working on legislation to support trails because it has support from all walks of life. It's not a partisan issue. People of all ages and all walks of life enjoy our trails, and I think we need to work together to make those opportunities continue to be available for citizens of Minnesota.
But I think having the Gateway Trail here as a contiguous, kind of a linear park has been really a very important asset in Washington County. This is a great, great multi-use paved and unpaved trail.
It is a wonderful place for families to be together. And I think it would be just a great asset to the community to keep this trail going as it has been.
It's a very beautiful trail that bisects some of the most beautiful country in Minnesota.